a difficult decision to make which institution to join because it's an investment of lifetime. And so how did you enable his decision to join SOIL?
You know, Ishan's case was a little unique. He had enrolled for a 2-year program with IMT ITM in Gurgaon. After he completed his first year, or he was about to complete his first year, he was feeling that the learning was not sufficient. And uh, we were discussing, he said, what else could I do in addition to my MBA course, which would give me a better learning. And I could sense that the dissatisfaction within him was more from the point of view of learning not being sufficient. So we looked at many things, and then this thought came to me that he's already spent a year, and a standard 2-year standard program needs him to have another year. So it struck me that the SOIL program is for a year, and if there was sufficient learning capacity in the SOIL program, it might be worthwhile abandoning this program, 2-year program, and moving over to SOIL, which would have in a way given him probably an experience of both the 2-year program and also the learning of a compressed learning of a 1-year program. So that's when he went across to SOIL and had a discussion with Anil, and it sort of worked out, and that's how he landed up in SOIL.
I must say that's a courageous decision, because once you're already in an education, it really becomes very difficult to get out of your comfort zone and then move into another setup and then again invest with a fear that will it work or not.
True.
So how has been so far your experience, and I would say Ishan's experience through your eyes? What kind of changes do you feel you have witnessed in him?
See, to put it very simply, it has been a phenomenal experience as far as Ishan is concerned. And for me, through what I have seen Ishan, I think the level of engagement, the level of involvement, the extent of, so to say, learning he has had in these months has been phenomenal. What I have seen from a distance is that he, the methodology of enabling the student to learn is significantly different from what normally one sees in a standard curriculum. And that has been my view, that there's a high degree of self-learning which is encouraged. There's a topic, and then the group or the student has to be on his or her own to do the learning of that topic. But it doesn't end there just at learning. That learning has to be converted into sort of a presentation which has to be so expressive and so communicative that the other person is also able to understand what has been the learning of the student. So there I find there was a distinct change in how Ishan was going about his learning prior to coming to SOIL. And it has been an ongoing process, and the quality is sort of exhibited by the intensity of his involvement, not to speak about the effort and time and so on and so forth, but the excitement which he has when he's talking about any topic is really seen to be believed. We used to have a lot of discussions on business, on management, but post his joining SOIL, I found a significant change in his perspective, in his thinking, in his reasoning of whatever was his viewpoint. So I think that was a distinct change which I saw in Ishan.
Wonderful. So, how and what kind of message would you want to give to the parents of prospective students? Because SOIL being a new institution, it is very difficult for parents to make this decision, along with their child. So, what kind of message would you want to give them, and which can help them to make an informed decision?
I'll go back to my own experience. When we were at that decision point whether he should continue with ITM, Gurgaon, or move to SOIL, there was a big trade-off. On one side there was a potential of higher learning. The other side there was this recognized degree. ITM is a university with a recognized degree. So on one hand you had to forego a recognized degree, but the trade-off in return was that there was a potential of a higher learning. My personal view and belief was that certification travels a certain distance. It enables you to go up to a certain extent. But if that certification is without genuine learning, you cannot build a career on that. And this is what I would like to convey to prospective students and their parents, is that there has to be the value which has to be built has to be an internal value, has to be an internal proposition which comes to an individual through a learning process. Certification will give a tag, but having the tag, if one is not able to deliver what one is supposed to deliver, it won't take you far. So if there is a desire, of course the intent has to be clear. If somebody is very, very clear that, look, I need only certification, then of course it is different. But if the intent is to equip the student or the child to a good prospect for a career in future, I would strongly recommend that one should choose an institute where the learning process is more robust. One is more sure about how a student can develop. And to my experience, SOIL is one of the best from that point of view.
Wonderful. I think your story and your perspective was really encouraging.